Elsewhere, they're in a very precarious spot. Yeah, they can sort of force into this round. It looks like that might be the plan, but it's a big risk to take at this early stage of the half. For Sentinels, though, it's straightforward stuff. No overcommitment. They weren't able to force that shield wall out on C, right? You see Narrate tried to get it. It didn't end up hurting him. They just bounced on back to A. And were able to execute this. Billy just got a little bit too nervous, pushed up too far as individuals. Took to it the YZ push over the Molly. The K-Knight positioning up upper A side. Just caught out in the open.
Listen, I'm hoping in this time as well that Coach Bale for BLG can hold his nerve, keep calm with the team, and give them the optimal plan, because he was furious after that pistol round loss when we cut to the coach booth. And now they're going to have to deal with the showstopper that Zekken has gotten up very early in this half. A crucial round for BLG. Big investment here.
And already, Sentinels here grouped on his A side. Pretty standard. We have Zelsis obviously watch C. He's got the Outlaw in hand to punish a push-up. BLG, do they want this fight again? Zekken's got hands. Russia finds out the hard way. YZ doesn't fancy any of it. He's only playing with a classic here. Such a weird assortment of guns.
Yeah, it is bizarre, right? I mean, Neff, yeah, unfortunately only just setting up a 700. Maybe these rifles can make something happen. Matter of fact, both of them have looked like intentions of maybe pushing out a B, but that's not going to be the case for the defense. Sin have inserted Narrate over towards Rubble. Potential fight against YZ where he's highly favored. Far superior gun.
And they're going to use him to try and sell this.
Yeah, they even throw a dark cover towards stairs. And it's working.
Oh God, they're all departing from C.
They have fully bought it.
Billy, I mean, they can't take too many risks. If they think there's a stack opportunity, they've got to take it with these weaker weaponry.
And YZ, he just didn't know all that Viper.
It's my life because come to Discord,
Get this,
bro.
Oh my goodness, guy! Eyes in the back of his head. Very timely swing there from Narrate.
That would have been their way into this round, into a realistic retake, but now and after that, it is certainly not the case.
Now just happy to post up here in this C site. Zekken challenging Waterfall. K-Knight forced off the line and low with a Phantom in hand. He likely doesn't want to wager it. And another flawless round on the horizon here for Sentinels.
We are right back to saving.
No Discord is 21. Lamau.
Away, Narrate.
I am just chilling, bro. I was watching, so I thought to watch with you guys.
Economy for Sen is
Nothing crazy, just
out
relax.
of control.
And so it goes. Sentinels get that magic 9 rounds.
I was watching, so I thought to enjoy with you.
Another gun snapped up at the end of the round. Celsius' weapon.
Or that it wasn't K-Knight dying.
Ah, Chris
Billy
boy.
really needed to save those there. Are able to get away with it. Narrate just turns at the perfect time. I mean, like I said, totally different round if that isn't caught. And now, finally, we've
But
gotten to the point
Zekken
for
is
Billy,
deadly.
where this operator that we were talking about so much on attack is economically viable to be picked up for YZ. This is going to have to be where the half changes for BLG, where it's going to feel like they are absolutely down and out. They've committed everything they've got, and it pays off for YZ.
That's exactly what they're looking for. The contact move up on B main. No more Vice in the map for Zen. Non-committal though in this early approach to the round. They had the spike left behind. They might feel the need to re-clear a little bit that B area before they head elsewhere.
Toxin screen down.
Prowler thrown out from K-Knight towards B. Doesn't spot anyone at Sen, silently working.
They are going C where you have Vice and Omen.
It up.
It's gonna be tough because
you could see a world where, you know, Zek and Satchel's in, the rest of the guys get cut off by a shield.
Omen are on.
Paranoia, this could
Omen is gone with
to anchor BLG.
boom. Gaya it's oh, nice trade, nice trade. Oh, got two.
Narrate's gonna be stuck here, decayed down. His position known and noted. K-Knight and Livy's in no hurry.
Bro,
as John
BLG
can't
is
even
playing
get into
good.
the site with the spike in hand.
BLG is playing
Easy cleanup and a
great.
great use of the Nightfall there from K-Knight.
A great counter ultimate. They do a nice job getting in, and it did kind of play out as speculated where that shear wall not getting procced earlier does get the gun out quick enough, actually.
The guy should not play backside because of the ult.
Usage there. And the op paid off. Everything they wanted to do in that round worked perfectly. YC's going to mix up the positioning and go towards
Bro, they can spam and kill, right? He's trying to pop.
On the opposite side of the map.
Russia has to play
He died.
passive in his
Two.
paint. Brought down. A couple steps ahead of his team, but they're at least able to find the trade.
Too
Really
aggressive.
responding to this quickly. It's a Prowler looking to check that A side proper. Zelsis gives the orb a tap.
कुछ ज़्यादा risky नहीं खेल रहे ये लोग.
Tries to back up. Neff forced away by the snake bite though. Here's a steel guard for the attack side to pave the way for a plant.
K-Knight had intentions
It's
of
gonna be retake with the.
And the steel guard
They don't have any ult.
Billy having to go for the full retake. Second is posted up so close.
Sees the Prowler now. They move.
Ah,
They make use
oh,
of that
nice trade.
information to get rid of Zekin, but John is there to find the trade. Night falls
Nice
to the attack side now.
side.
Knight doesn't know what's coming. Neck with a wrap from
Oh,
John. John
nice
finds
side,
his
nice
third
side.
for the round, and YC's
Nice side.
op is not the ideal tool
Nice
for this
ult,
job.
nice ult, nice ult.
Sentinels back in front. Back with a burst of confidence. A
Guys,
fast
welcome to the
A-kit plays
stream.
out the way they drew it up.
The narrates Nightfall that time is used to perfection.
This is too eager. Too.
Catches up to all of the players retaking.
ये तो बस lucky kill था ये वाला.
Absorbs some of that. Backs off. John swings up when they're dealing with Zekin. Gets the trade on the rope. And the rest of the players are pushing forward.
Sentinels are panicking.
Well placed ultimate.
They're still Sentinels though going to have to contend likely with a YC off by. First it was a push out of B main, got Celsius. The previous round it was off of the C side. What will it be now?
He's over at A position with a couple other players. All of that defensive sentinel utility continuing to be littered across that C site from Levius. Dark covers being cycled.
Oh
as
my
well.
god,
See
he has
how
so
aggro
much of
doesn't wanna
control.
get.
Oh,
Post
nice.
up deep. Does John try to take this space? I mean, surely a contact push back.
See,
into
Viper
A would be
is
a
here.
free kill
Viper
for
might
YC,
peek.
You have to imagine.
Do you ever think to re-clear this spot of the attackers? It's so close to their side.
Oh!
Shoulder
That's
peek.
smart. That's
John
But
is
smart.
still,
lucky to get out of that one alive.
still. He hit to
Limping
John.
away.
104.
Still keeps his weapon.
Hey bro,
in
good
this
night, good
round.
night. Take care.
And knows they've given up so much of that positioning that was possible for YZ. Gets away with his life. Sentinels at 45 seconds are pivoting back towards that BC
They're
area.
gonna
Keeping the
crash
options
C.
open as they're
They're faking
activating
with the
that.
gate.
The sheer wall is still here. They've had a trouble dealing with that.
They know they're here.
Fires,
They know they're
execution
here.
Tough for them to manage.
Oh my god.
Right,
Such
referee
eye.
follow up on that
Such a
haunt.
pro eye.
Shield wall is still a problem. Send don't have a way to safely clear it, to trigger it. They've got to go B.
B, they have to already be.
Done. We are down to 20 seconds right now. Second satchel again. A couple players on defense. Rusha gets the first in the span through. John was just so weak.
And there's not much more to gain from this now. Zelsis heading over towards the seaside, but that shield wall's going to get come up either way, and Neff will be waiting. Narrate steps up, and this is tit for tat stuff, round for round. Sen and Billy exchanging haymakers to try and close the map.
Keeping each other honest, that BLG round was critical. After reinvesting into the operator, that would have been presumably worth two. That would have put BLG on the eco. They were in the right places in the right times defensively. They do a good job nullifying the attempt from Sentinels to get back into that
Bro,
B site. Zekin
I
in
guess
the air,
Zekin, it's
shut
Zekin's
down.
mother.
Rusha ready to go. Sen, they are struggling dealing with this Vice over at sea. I've got to say, they're not getting that util out earlier, and they're fearing late having to go into it when the clock is getting low. There are those thorns on the ground they have to deal with. Players getting cut off by the sheer wall. You know, you can try to timing it where your Omen can TP top box, Zekin can get in, but it's still challenging.
But what is it that forced him to see
Who's
in the
gonna
first
win,
place?
guys? What do you
It was
think?
YZ pushing up on A, getting aggressive towards Rubble.
And that's exactly what you want to do with this operator. Once you've got it rolling with the Vice on this map, you take control and you just want to force the attackers to have to deal with that powerful defensive utility. You want to just route them into that sort of trap that you have laid on the opposite side of the map, and they pull it off there.
So there's got to be a game plan for this early round action that Sen have been opting out of more often than not. Is it another Rubble fight? Maybe try and explore B early and fight through some of that fade util that's been deployed there. All that and more to be answered in just a few
Bro,
moments.
they
You can
have
see that
more
scoreboard, a
ults.
good start in
Billy
this
Billy
half.
has
Converting on the bonus is
2
big.
ults and 3
Billy
ults on the line.
Have found their niche in this game.
So Billy
Wisey
Billy
has
can
carved it
take
out, kill
lead.
by kill with this
They have an
offering.
op also. So few ults are gonna pop up with ults, so BLG can
so
win.
close to 3 other ults. And realistically, the only thing that Sen can have on top of the From the Shadows, which isn't all too viable unless you're going for one of those fast, deep teleport executes, is maybe John can get a kill, get the spike down, and use that pit to win out a post plant. But even at that, you use the pit, you have to stay in it, easy steal garden. Sure, maybe you have the shorty in it, so there are counterplays to the counterplays that are available if we get into a situation like that. But as of right now, it's Billy Billy again, posting up, taking A control with that op line deep.
There.
This time, Sen have to have a plan for this. They've got to, yep, here you can see, they've got to be expecting Wisey to be on this line.
Bro, they're
Versus
fighting.
the Prowler. Wisey's
There
far
are
enough away that
two.
actually doesn't need to be shot at.
Paranoia and op.
Now the
They are
second one,
done.
Paranoia thrown in. This is awkward. Second not affected by it, but the rest of Sentinels are. Now though, time to burst forward. Wall comes down.
Oh,
so
too
does
many,
Wisey.
too
That's
many.
the op out of the game. Russia has to
Too
ult from the
many,
shadows
too
to keep
many.
back to his spawn for safety. And that opens this side of the map up for Sentinels.
Second is taking so much space. Russia wants to get back
nice
there,
one,
but
nice one.
completely
Nice
misreading
execute.
the timings that
The Viper wall was
were
good to pop
available
up.
to send to scale.
He thinks he can get in way earlier than that. And he was wrong. Billy Billy now, you notice, yes, picking up these rounds here and there, but because there's been a patchwork of back and forth, it's much harder to justify throwing themselves in a 3v5 scenario with no control of the site and with no duelist to work with.
If that position from YZ got really messed up in the moment, it's tough to play around that Viper's wall close up. It feels like you either need to be in front of it or you need to kind of be playing back towards the actual site, stairs. Because in that situation, when it drops, there's just multiple
That's
players
saving.
from multiple angles that are going to be looking at you. It's hard to find a target even. You can see him trying to adjust. It's just too much. There's simply too much for him to try to look at. And too many players who'll have a much easier time dealing with him. I mean, look, he's just wide out in the open.
And that's how Sentinels realize they can take control of that operator held position. Use controller util to close the gap on them.
Really good round,
Pop
guys.
when that
I
wall
did a
comes
lot
down.
Really with those saves. Porta can buy again. Do still have the steel garden. Wisey's got on the showstopper. He was one away and died. Kane one away from the Nightfall, one away from the Viper's Pit. They could get so many ults in this round, which they need desperately a couple players on. Horrendous cash, while Sentinels just have a bank to keep buying over and over.
They should fight for
Poison orb is set up.
mountain control.
Even just
They're
trying to
giving it
trigger
for
the shield
free.
wall, potentially
For a
lethal
change, they
for
should
Sentinels. They can't just duck in there and make it come up.
BLG, they do have that forward position over towards Rebel again. Same two players stacked up.
For a change, they
Nice
should fight.
job re-clearing them though. They're realizing that they're finding more success just working this A side of the map and essentially avoiding this Vice entirely.
Is the defensive show
Same setup with a Vandal.
here? Prowler out, looking the same as last round. Russia now with a bit of spray.
Second is fully committed.
He's out, he's out.
He's able to get out, able to get out.
But again, where to from here? 40 seconds in the round, and they've done nothing about that sheer wall at sea, which has been more than a small nuisance for Sen.
And there are still 2 anchors there, out in the open. That has to be traded.
The opening of the door is so big for Bang. He paves the way for a firing line.
Bang
of Sentinels
got
to look
2.
at the Seaside defenders. Now they've gotten in once again with a 2-player advantage. Wisey might have to entry this with a showstopper.
What the fuck? Hey, Arkia. What the fuck? What the fuck?
But Zekit is waiting for him to make his way out of that B connector.
Oh,
He's ready for K9
good
as well.
time.
Bring me another, he says, and Wisey acquiesces.
Zakin
An
is too
easy
good.
pick off once more for the Rays. And it is a dastardly scenario that Russia has to find a way to unravel. And with this
Bang
Guardian,
got them round. Bang
no
got
choice
them
but
the
just
round.
to go for it. Sen encircling him to get away from the blast. Billy might have lost their biggest opportunity to get back in control of this map and series. Rushi are lucky to get away with his life.
They had
Next
so
round,
many
Billy
urns.
Billy, of course, going to have to force up with everything they've got. They still have ultimates. That could turn the tide on a bad buy round to stay in the game. This is Sentinels on match point.
ये
One
देखो
round
क्या
away
what
from making
that
the playoffs.
they
Going
whipped
2-0 to start this tournament after an 0-2 at Bangkok, finishing in disappointing fashion. Playing with a hunger today. You can see it on their faces, especially Celsius
Not good, not
staying
good.
locked in. Second back on the original agent that he made a name with years ago to propel him to the top of the American scene. Is putting on a show on Lotus.
Billy have got a lot to commit into a round like this, though. Bang has already gotten pretty far forward, and Rushi has that barrel. The Guardian he maintained from the previous round pays dividends. That showstopper will be avoided. Maybe a little bit quick on the trigger finger is YZ. Ray's ultimate's off the table now.
And John just able to get a little bit off to the left there from YZ's perspective. Again, this is a situation where you do have Narrate over towards that C-mount side, just controlling the space, ensuring that no one is pushing up. Viper's Pit here now, going to make a potential execute there. An absolute
is Valorant a gay game?
nightmare.
Yes, it is.
You mentioned it. Sentinels don't have those big initiator ultimates to work with. Don't have a showstopper quite yet.
They're gonna go
Inches
A.
short in all of those categories.
Maybe if they had the Nightfall, then they could throw
B
that
पे
at
तो
the
they're gonna
crowd with
ult,
the Viper squad
Y
like
से
that,
का
but
ult.
it's not an option right now.
So is it a hard force? Hoping to catch a player positioned far forward like we've seen from YZ in the past, but BLG are actually giving a lot more map control over
30
here.
seconds left.
Now Santa going to run into this.
YZ, does he dare jump up?
Shot through the box, he needs to see over this wall and can't quite, so that's tree access now gained by Sentinels. Rushi though is ready. Pure stopping power. This time it's a Guardian shot to John QT's cranium. 12 seconds left. Sentinels have to go. Zeki getting sprayed down, but is able to find Rushi. YZ trying to disrupt with the blast.
Oh! Oh, he got two!
Zeki and Zelsis.
Why they're
Back to
throwing?
back for the series.
Steel Garden should be connecting onto both though. Zelsis on the run. Zekin just has the shorty trying to play backside, but the showstopper as well. He got that with the spike going down.
Zelsis is going to be jumped on in tree. Got nowhere to go. Primaries are available again. And back to back. Zekin and Zelsis put Neff in a solo situation. Signed, sealed, delivered. Sensidia back
Jiren bhai,
in a Masters playoffs.
Zekin was an absolute phenom on their two-map wheel at it.
जिरन भाई खेलेंगे. जिरन भाई खेलेंगे. जिरन भाई कब खेलेंगे? ये इट्स अ क्वेश्चन. जिरन भाई खेलेंगे. आप बताओ रे. How are you guys? उदय आर्किया. I'm not able to play यार. ऑफिस का काम ज्यादा है आजकल. They didn't play it as good as expected.
That star moments. Billy, who we know is always a problem for teams such as this, but in the end, they figure out how to answer that A-side operator play. They get that controller util up, eventually they can push YZ over. Let's send it down now to Gen Lee, down on the stage for our Verizon post-match interview with John QT.
And it's going to be Sentinels in the playoffs! John, if I may have you over here. Yes, for a short interview. Lotus was a nail-biter, no?
Definitely, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, congratulations
Summer
on
holidays
making it to the
के
playoffs. I mean, first
मजे
one
ले रहा हूँ मैं. तो कहाँ पर हो रहा है?
Madrid. You gotta be excited.
Yeah, definitely very excited. That was the goal coming into the tournament. Kind of beating our demons that we had in Bangkok because we got grouped, so very happy of our result.
Can you tell us a little bit about what happened in
Yeah,
between
yeah,
Icebox
Congo.
and Sunset? Because it felt like after Icebox, you guys locked in.
डीलक्स की भी छुट्टियां चल रही हैं. भूमि के एग्जाम चल रहे हैं. All guys are in first year.
We were not winning our fights and stuff like that.
Don't know
We
what
just
to do.
Okay, guys,
Valorant, bro.
Let's give them a statement game. We're gonna 13-5 them on Sunset, and we did so. So it worked out.
Well, speaking of demons, we have other demons waiting for you in the playoffs. Who would you like to face for the first round of the playoffs?
To be honest, I don't care. Whoever dare to pick us, I'm down to play them.
Till
I'm
then,
coming in very
let's go
confident,
chess.
So I'm pretty sure they don't want to see us.
Let's
Till the moment, let's go chess. मेरे दोस्त ने कहा है वैलोरेंट की पीसी का फ्री फायर है, तो उस दोस्त को बोलो आगे मैचअप कर ले फिर। तेरा फोर्थ ईयर स्टार्ट हो 1 जुलाई। गुड यार। फोर्थ ईयर तो एकदम अय्याशी वाले दिन होते हैं। पूरे फोर्थ ईयर में पैच बहुत पार्टी करना, इतनी पार्टी करना भोपाल मत जा। What should I play? Let's play the Queen Spawn opening and symmetrical. No, not symmetrical. I don't want to go symmetrical. I will open. Yeah. This thing. अरे तुम लोगों को दिख नहीं रहा आई गेस। ठीक है। Decent. कैसा लगा? Spawn. Push it. So now, if he hits this, I have 2 hits, and he only have 1. So he won't fight. I want to push this thing. Okay, I don't want to take it. I will push this thing. I take. If it takes, I take. I have the center with a queen. So like कर दो बस. Okay, he doesn't want to take, so I will take it. Take it. You take it deeper. I will kill. I will push the pawn. You can kill, but I kill. Okay. Okay. He is trying to do something. I don't know what. He can do this. Take it. Guys, match start हो तब तक we'll play Valorant. We have PRX now. Okay. Oh my God, he's trying to challenge my queen. My freaking queen won a challenge. Take a check. You push the pawn. I kill this pawn. Or I can take this. You take this. And I take this. This can be done. What hit you? Oh, you wanna play with the fucking queen? Okay. I'm going in. He castled opposite. Bitch. It's fine. It's fine. It's under control. I will gonna do this. I was watching Better Call Saul. बड़ा मजा आ रहा है। इतना अच्छा है कि Better Call Saul. I have to watch. So yeah, I heard it's good. So I don't know it's good, but it's people are saying it's very slow. Is it really that? What you did? Queen move. Can't give check. Can't give check. I'm gonna castle. If he comes here, I'm gonna go here. This duo is deadly now. Deadly. हाँ, ब्रेकिंग बैड देख लिया अभी मैंने। ब्रेकिंग बैड देख लिया पूरा। ब्रेकिंग बैड देख लिया। Okay, he is going in with the full throttle. What I can do, I can first let's castle. So these thing joins. Okay, that's a good tactic to have. Castle. And then PRX. Okay, he is gonna threaten my thing. Okay, okay. I'm gonna go here. So what I'm doing, I'm giving support, and I'm gonna put my knight here. Oh my God, what the fuck? Okay. 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 If you take, I take. If you have to move, so I can kill this thing. He can move here only. That's the only option. Okay. Oh fuck! They have this. No, I lost. Okay. 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 What more I can do? What? I guess gone kids. Yeah. Oh. Oh. Okay. So 9 1 plus effect. एक गलती हो गई. I had a better thing. It's a mate. I have to open back rank mate नहीं कराना मुझे. PRX plus that's what is it? Eh, you wanna take the hit. But I'm not gonna take it. And if I go for checks, he goes here. I have any journey. I don't have support. Okay. That's it. I'm gonna go. Okay, perfect. If I go check here. No, yeah, this thing is gonna create an issue. Okay. You can't make me like this. You have to take care of my this thing. मुझे पर्सनली बिल्कुल भी मजा नहीं लगा. स्लो गॉडडैम पूरी स्टोरी दिखाई है शुरू से. आई थिंक बेटर कॉल सॉल्व माइट बी बेटर. रेटिंग उसकी बेटर है फॉर श्योर. बेटर कॉल सॉल्व की. एंड चेक can't do anything much. And hmm, if he puts here, it's a mate. Can't do anything. I lost. He did. So what I can do to play this? Continue. Pre-move. Okay. ऐसा ना मैं अपने नाइट का रास्ता. Oh, I can win on time. Okay, it's a mate. Yeah, I missed. I could have been on time. Okay, one more before the match starts. First, we'll play this. Arey, I गलत चल दिया. Go there. There I kill. I kill. He takes the queen. I trade. He declined my castling. It's fine. I develop my knight. He's gonna do some bitching. I'll go there. I create a good pawn structure. As expected, it's here. Giving my team some breathing space. Now, some here. Guys, they are on stage. Match gonna start soon. So, you know, my king, so I can do my knight. Take it, then here, take it, take it, take it, it's fine. You want to do this. Yep. And we will take first. कहाँ जाओगे left? Oh fuck! Freak!
This question when it comes to this matchup, but is one IGL better than no/5?
It's hard to say. I feel like we have seen, you know, given the fact that, I mean, this might be a little salt in the wound, but for the PRX fans, they have gotten second so many times. So far, up to this point, I would argue having one guy be the person that can make those clutch calls at any moment, whether it's 12-12 in OT or it's like you're up 8-12 and you have to secure the match, I would argue having one IGL is better. But
Oh yeah,
PRX,
sure. The
please prove me
IGL
wrong.
says that
Please
for
prove me
job
wrong.
security.
Do you disagree?
No, I also agree.
I was gonna say, but I did do some recon. I asked Forsaken, you know who's IGLing this event? And he looked at me and went, who do you think? And I said, all of you, and he said, yep. So there we go.
Classic.
Yeah.
I have a feeling though that I wanna believe in this theory. You guys can get on board here.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Forsaken may be leading you astray a little bit because Minnie did
wouldn't
say
say
on
that.
his stream that he's been trying to build Forsaken up into that IGL role. So it could very well be a ploy to distract you from the real mastermind on PRX.
When you said this to me last time, Millie was watch partying,
Really?
and he said
Ready for the
he
fight.
he was like, I never said that. Mel
I
is
hate to
chatting
break it to
rubbish.
you.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I was like,
know
there's
what I
no
saw.
way. I said the same. I was like, there is no way I'm
PRX
taking
wanna
Millie's
win,
side over
bro.
Mel.
I
Mel's
have
never
full
lied.
support to
No,
PRX.
Mel lied.
And Millie has lied multiple times.
This is also
Quote of the
true. And you know
goatest
what?
team is
I'm gonna
PRX,
tell you
bro.
something that is not a lie. Okay.
They're not gully
Jing
kids.
freaked out
They are
in his
pro.
last matchup. This guy who was so sick. His entry pathing, both on the Raze and the Omen over on Icebox, was so good.
Jing
So, I mean,
was
just look at this,
Jing played
mixing up
shotgun
his,
crazy
diving
last
into
match.
backside. Yeah, nice, just
Like-
moving
like crazy,
air
crazy,
strafing
or
as well
crazy.
to get on top of the
Not
rocks in
normal
the previous
crazy.
clip. I just really liked what we were seeing out of him consistently.
I think his aggression has just always been unmatched. It's honestly funny to see. He's been doing this for years, and yet still it takes people off guard every time just because of how explosive it is, and he has the mechanics to just kill you right when he lands.
Yeah, and there are
Crazy
even rounds in that
Kiare.
Icebox game where he's just instantly like round start, teleporting up on the attacking
Crazy
side, up into pipes,
Kiare.
peeking. Within like 3 or 4 seconds, he's getting opening kills. He's playing Omen like I've never really seen someone play on that map.
Just a cheeky 10-1, you know, in opening
Kiare.
engagements
Crazy.
against Team Heretics. Wild stuff. And it gets even wilder because if you look at Forsaken's performance, somehow he
Bro,
matched
Forsaken is
what
such
Jing
a
was
versatile
doing
player,
on
bro.
Astra.
Yeah,
He can
and he was
do
playing
any
so
situation,
actively,
clutch
I think,
in
especially
anywhere,
late round
like,
situations.
in
There were a lot
any
of times
agent.
the rounds got down to like
Like,
3v3s,
how can
2v2s,
somebody
things like this,
be good
and he
with
would just like sit around
all
on
the
late lurk
agents?
timing or actually push in front of his walls, his
Not
smokes at
one,
times.
not
He was just
two, but
completely locked
really
in.
all the
Especially
agents.
this round that's on the screen now was such a beautiful
Boom,
play by
boom,
Forsaken.
boom,
I mean, obviously his aim is incredible.
boom.
We all know that. But it's his ability to absorb and retain all the information and the best plays you can make on so many different agents. There's a reason why we don't see it so often in the pro scene because it is so difficult, yet he makes it work.
Yeah, and the stats here, he does this on every agent he plays. You know, it doesn't matter what kind of
Crazy.
agent, what role, initiator, you know, anything, he can do this. But here's the thing, Mel. How much do we read into to the PRX victory against Heretics, and also the GenG victory against MIBR, because if you take that at face value, they're the two best teams in this tournament right now.
I think we can definitely read into it. I think Team Heretics, I know they had an insanely, like I will say poor performance, but PRX did make it look so clean, and I wonder how much you can fault Team Heretics for it, because PRX brought so much energy and so many good game plans and so much good kills and highlights that, I mean, to get a 13-1 like that, you do have to give them credit. Like, there's nothing else you can say. And the same thing applies for GenG. Having that 13-1 against MIBR, mind you, has Aspas, a guy that shows up to internationals and makes him look not nearly as dominant, is an insane feat. So you 100% need to give your credit to both of these teams.
Yeah, would you agree? The GenG MIBR puts GenG as the front runner at Swiss stage?
I mean, again, it's so close between the two teams. I am leaning towards GenG, though. I just thought they were completely lights out in the way they play. And honestly, in some ways, disrespectful to the fights they were taking against MIBR, especially once they got to a numbers advantage. They would just keep re-swinging into lines and just outperforming, outreacting, out-aiming their opposition, which MIBR is a completely stacked roster in terms of individual talent. So the fact that GenG was dipping them to the level they were in server just speaks volumes to their own talent.
And I don't think you need to understand the Pacific region. You could be from any region, watch a game and understand how Texture likes to play. Surely at this point, I know we haven't seen the first seeds yet, but is it too early to say best operator player in the tournament?
I mean, the best operator on the Neon for sure. Look at how quick he's rotating, and this is what I mean. The disrespectful refights. There he's got the stun beast coming back into line a second time. He goes for a third one as well. He was feeling himself.
When we think of prolific operas, we think jet players, people that take their one, dash out, re-peek, but he makes the Neon op look so seamless. His movement, his ability to immediately go into the either running or dropping a relay on the ground to break the spacing. It's just so skillful. It's so beautiful to watch.
Yeah, during the press conference, a question was asked to him, who would you like to play after this game in the future? And he basically said, it really doesn't matter. I'm the best opper here. And I really don't think he's wrong. Kankan didn't make it to this tournament. That probably is the only guy I can think of that could challenge him. So how much work, Mel, will PRX have to do to make sure they don't make the same mistakes as MIBR?
I think they're going to have to match his energy with an operator of their own in something, in my opinion, but also be really diligent about the anti-op protocols. You cannot be lazy. You need to track where the opper is or make good assumptions and good guesses on where they can be.
And that's where I'm a little bit worried for PRX. I'm not sure if they actually have the ability to deal with Texture's op. It is such a game-changing element coming in, regardless of what map the GenG are going to be playing. And when you compare this matchup to something, obviously something, very talented player in his own right, but I feel like Texture has just been in a league of his own so far.
I almost think a lot of these times you just have to out-weird them a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, throw in some curveballs, don't...
Get funky with it.
Yeah, or you do the 2021 CNED strat, which is you find Texture, oh, he's here, run. Get out of here, go to the other side. Is that a viable game plan?
Yes, absolutely. There is no shame in doing that. Avoiding, I mean, the op is such a powerful ability, or not ability, sorry, a powerful gun. It is totally valid to try to book and run, but here's the thing. If you aren't running into Texture, you're running into Ash. He is solo by himself, rifling, and he'll take down 4, even if you can avoid the offer.
I mean, honestly, there were a few rounds that GenG realistically should have lost, like that clip from Haven, where he's just getting a 4K out of seemingly nowhere. It was just insane seeing what this guy can do on the global stage.
But also, like you guys said, if there's anyone that might be able to bring a game plan that works, might be able to find a solution, it is an opponent that you faced many times. And just on some of the rookies too, and it doesn't even feel like they're making a debut on a global stage. They look so unflappable.
They seemed so in control in that game, right? And again, they absolutely dominated MIBR, but it's a game like that that, brings the newer players out, and it's just all of a sudden, there's no even semblance of nerves, right? You are locked in from the get-go. You're feeling so confident now heading into today's matchup. It's like you've been here a million times before.
It's so cool to see, considering when you join a roster of people that have won so much before, when they've made such deep runs and they've won a Masters, I can imagine you feel the pressure that you want to not only make yourself proud, but make your teammates proud of you and earn the trust that you deserve to be here. And the fact that he showed up only shows good signs and good tidings.
Full support to PRX.
For me, though, it'll be interesting, Mel, to see what happens when they're down, because neither team have even faced any challenges so far on this stage.
There is a lack of adversity for both teams. That's a great point. I hadn't really thought about, but I'm really interested to see how they will come back. What are the game plans going to look like? What are the changes we're going to see? And the predictions, I mean, Yenzu, of course.
I am literally in the gutters.
It's tough for you, but honestly, I was interested. I was asking all our Pacifics colleagues, so like, you've got 2 for GenG with Achilleos and Gen. Paperthin went for PRX. Makes sense. It's in the name, but honestly, none of them feel very confident, and I don't feel like this is a matchup that can really go either way.
I think out of all of the matchups we are going to see is one of the more 50-50 ones for a reason. Of course, today will be the 9th time we see PRX take on GenG. So without further ado, the players are already backstage. Let's send them down and bring out the players.
Versus GenG.
Bro, GenG की hoodie is too great.
This is one of the most competitive rivalries in Valorant we have never seen. Today will be the tiebreaker, and not only that, the winner will be advancing straight to playoffs.
So much on the line here. Both teams 4-4 versus each other all time, but we have never seen this roster of PRX against GenG with Patman in the fold. So it is a new ball game.
It's interesting, both teams have cores that have such great
Hey,
runs in
Actual Hell,
tournaments, and
welcome to
both
this
have rookies
Smurfer, bro.
meant to breathe new life
Thank you
into
for the
these teams,
membership.
and I just can't express how excited I am as an America's player
Balle,
to just
balle,
be here in America and seeing this live, because normally we're up till 3 a.m. watching it.
Welcome
But
to the team again.
Seeing it live is a whole other feeling.
It's like now you never
And
left.
looking at the Omen map select here, it is 3 completely different maps to the last time they faced each other. And I forgot to even mention, Suggest was playing the last time these two faced each other, which is a bit of a throwback here. But what do you guys make of the map pool here?
I mean, what? We got Ascend, we got Icebox. That Icebox coming in after what happened to Team Heretics is definitely going to be a fun one. But seeing things start on Ascent, this is a map, again, GenG played very much by the book. Haven't seen it so far this tournament out of them, but this is like the classic GenG, back to the basics, fundamental Valorant map for them.
Exactly.
I'm here.
You are punished more so for your mistakes than really any other map. It's kind of a battle between who can make the least mistakes, especially because this map has been played for so long. And honestly, everything that's to do on this map has been done. It has been seen.
I'm reading a chat here.
To see where the fights are going to take place exactly. I feel like
watching the match here.
Drawn out rounds, at least from the side of GenG.
Yeah, the slow rounds, and what does that mean? All of a sudden, the value of an operator goes way through the roof. So winning pistol rounds, setting up your econ early on in FAP, getting that into the hands of Texture, and you can run away with the map.
Now, I don't want to read into anything, but when PRX did experiment here outside of VCT recently, they ran Deadlock Chamber. Is that something you think could work perhaps on the global stage against GenG?
I think it could, given that we were talking about so much about the op prowess, and having a chamber player, you're pretty much setting them up onto these lines and getting the operator in their hands as soon as possible. And having that extra trip, I mean, you're never going to complain on the map like Ascent.
I mean, that would just be the ultimate matchup, right? Of the classic versus the techie off-the-wall PRX style. Would definitely be a fun clash to see.
I'm gonna sleep for real.
I'm hoping we see something funky, because again,
good night. I'm gonna watch at least one match.
Since then to work on this. It will also
And then I'm gonna go in my bed and watch it on my tab.
All of the teams have not really been favoring this map so far, so Mel, I'm happy that the first time we see this is these two teams that aren't afraid to get weird.
And I'm honestly looking towards GenG, because so far we've seen them really lean into Viper. That has been their read, and their response to Teo getting nerfed is, can we incorporate double controller into a lot of maps? And Ascent normally isn't a map where we see
Red Bull का एक
controller,
कॉफी
but if any team is going to make that gamble, I could 100%
double caffeine.
You don't see a lot of it nowadays, but it is playable on the map. And you think like through the history of the game, there's been a lot of teams that have experimented with it. We've seen Loud play styles like that. Yeah, exactly. And honestly, there's a lot of cool things you can do with a pick like that, even in terms of like denying an enemy offer on the attacking side as well. So I don't know. To me, GenG, they're still in my head, this team that plays these older styles, but with us seeing more and more of them playing the double controller, there's certainly some options.
I'm not going to, you know, I'm not going to deny a Korean team playing the Korean comp on Ascend, that they invent, the stuff that they invent on this map, you know, everyone else still copies this, so if it works, if it ain't broken, don't fix it type of vibe.
Yeah, and that's kind of GenG's way. I feel like they've just got such a keen understanding of how to play the maps in their pool, both from a calling way, from an individual style as well. You have to like bring such a level of individual firepower and strong game plan in order to ever break this team.
And I think PRX is a team that I want to say Ascent was the birthplace of us seeing that really true combination of firepower and understanding of the macro and util, because I remember in the offseason people were watch partying PRX's games and their offseason tournaments and be like, whoa, they're using this on Ascent, they're waiting for their drone, and it sounds crazy to say, but PRX of the old was such a dual heavy team, and I really feel like this was the birthplace of when we started to see PRX.
Oh no.
Are we getting a shoey on broadcast?
The Red Bull shoey!
That's crazy.
So why are you saying oh no as if we're not going to make you do one of those, Christy?
Are we?
Because there's no way you could make me do that.
When you say no way, there is always a way. Everybody has a price. What needs to happen for us to get you?
Not out of a shoe, sorry.
What if it was a clean shoe? Brand new shoe.
Yeah. What if it was, who's your favorite player in this tournament?
No!
What if it's their shoe?
That's worse. Absolutely worse.
Oh no, what about you, Mel? One of you two, let's have some fun.
Okay. If it was a clean shoe, maybe. But anyway, on to more important things here with Agent Select.
If we get a double chamber head-to-head, I'll do it. You know what, I'm not going to back down.
There is a 0% chance GenG play chamber.
Well, Foxy Knight is hovering it, and if this somehow happened, I will do a shoey in the crowd. And if this is,
नीचे कर ले, नहीं करना यार.
But they're all hovering right now. Nobody has locked in. They're teasing us.
They're just keeping us on our toes.
All 10 hovering. This is different.
And if a chamber does get picked, I want to say it was Divide that played the chamber, of course, before. So if it goes over to Jing, I'm not going to complain, but it doesn't look like we're going to get the chamber versus chamber.
Oh man, I need someone to lock. My anxiety is through the roof. I have anxiety, y'all. Okay,
we got a KO. Normality has returned. Yes.
Almost too normal.
Yes, the agent you must play on this map.
Yeah, it's too normal. Look at the other side of these hovers. The hovers on the other side tells a very different story.
Oh, it's Viper for Divide.
A Viper out of
It's happening. Oh my god, they've looked.
Wait, Gecko?
It's Fade Viper Gecko on Ascent.
Wow, this is complete reverse of who I thought was going to be picking Viper. This is insane.
But again, like, I think Viper is so cool. They're starting on
Bro,
defense.
they don't have...
But once they move to attack, like, you can do things like put mid-orbs, you can put mid-walls as well. There's a lot of different additive smokes you can make to just make the Jet's life on the other side really
double smoke versus single smoke, but with a Gecko. They don't have Sova
everything that I've laid out. Four of the agents
or what do you say?
So off meta.
KO. Everybody plays KO.
Yeah, and they did run this comp back at Masters Madrid. I knew I seen it somewhere before. It's time to throw this over to your casters, making their debut casting GenG versus PRX on the global stage. It's Achilles and Paperfist.
Well, here we go. It's the first time that you and I get to cast these two teams up against each other at an international event. And we're still getting weird stuff. PRX continuing to iterate and to develop. Is this burnt? Is this going to be delicious? I have no idea, but they certainly have cooked.
It's just classic PRX. I mean, it almost feels like a sunset comp. It should be very interesting to see how they're going to run it. I mean, early with the toxic screen, it's going to be cutting off the front of A, and they're setting up some kind of mid-hit.
They don't have Sentinel.
GenG right now leaning in the A direction. The one way there from Forsaken.
PRX is without Sentinel. They might lose.
But this has been looking A all the way for GenG. And they're just doing a little bit of diligence, checking wine with the knife, making sure that that's going to be clear for this push forward. And some pressure going to be put potentially onto Patman early, but they're not really quite reading this just yet.
It's going to be the recon forward smoke here. cut off that door. Nanoswarm as well going to be invested. Forces Devi away, so can't stick around to try to spray through that smoke. Minor amounts of damage taken here by a couple players on the side of GenG, but for now we'll have sight under their controls. They look to try to go for this plan, but PRX do not want to allow that to happen. Forsaken is just running at them, managing to find one. Ash ready to get back. Forsaken with a second.
Oh no! 4 seconds gonna clutch always. He clutch always.
The taps coming through, but Foxy finds the headshot. Is GenG continuing in pistol dominance. Didn't drop one yesterday. It looks like they're looking to stick to the same script here.
Just kind of a rock, paper, scissors in the game plan there. PRX looking mid all the way. Meanwhile, GenG just thinking A. And the retake looked pretty good initially for PRX. They throw in a paranoia. They're using the fade util to force all the players into hell, and they have a real good chance. Jiren didn't quite find the shots, though, with the Sheriff. That forces Forsaken into the 1v1 after he cleans out hell. Can't quite finish the job against Foxy. Close.
Too suppressed.
But GenG comes out just ahead in a very important opening pistol on their attacker's side.
A full investment.
I don't understand why Gecko.
On the pistols here for GenG. With that Guardian, Foxy9, Marshall in hand, waiting to see if there's any kind of big push out of the A site. But PRX, they've already rotated and stacked everybody here at B. You see up over the top, take a chase.
Oh, nice shot.
Munchkin answering back and reply. That Stinger able to find 2 quick kills.
Guys, you got one. You go back and hold an angle.
Out on top here. So still going to commit to the pivot across towards that A site. So still maybe an opportunity for something to get the jump and find a bit more damage here. As the footsteps finds the headshot instantaneously. Scout dodges. Now finds himself with a weapon in hand, but Foxy9 will be able to get the shot. So a bit of damage going to be suffered here, but GenG managed to get the 2-0 start.
Yeah, they're going to keep a couple of those Guardians over. Very potent weapons in the hands of those players. PRX had a couple Sheriffs in there, but mostly going to be up with rifles, a few half armors, regen shield for Jing. Off the rip here, Forsaken just playing that corner for the Sheriff. Batman swoops it up, tries to go for something, but Card and Munchkin not having much of it. Foxy9 reliable on the back end in 2 rounds in a row for GenG. Things getting scrappy between 2 teams who know each other very, very well. Last year in Pacific, of course, they faced off in the kickoff and Stage 1 Grand Finals. One going GenG's way, one going PRX's way. So there is quite a bit of history here. Both teams want this win desperately, but as you saw in the pre-show interview with them, there's a lot of love on both sides too.
Timing on the flash, no one there to receive it though. Forsaken go for a couple straight shots through here and does nearly find some damage. Just a pixel out of place there. Cut of the noise, GenG gonna look to try to convince PRX to maybe try to rotate out. Wingman now sprinting forward. Checks and doesn't spot anything.
And this is something back on Gecko. An agent he played quite a bit previously. Foxy9 trying to create some attention over at the B site, but that is going to pull Patman over a little bit, it looks like. Forsaken now uses the paranoia to stall just a little bit. He's going to try to fight this, maybe.
Connect on damn near everybody, and he can't get the weapon to realign fast enough. Texture narrowly surviving, able to find that kill. Busy connecting with Naron safe in position, rotates across. Shuts the door. PRX trying to get clustered up. Foxy9 still going to be on a very deep flank just now, making his way out towards B as the spike gets ready to be planted. But Texture trying to take some space up in towards heaven. Falling to the wayside as Patman, the pre-fire, is able to find one. Karen now going to be dead as well. Something heads away with the elimination. Thrown out, spotting the drop down. Munchkin somehow gets that kill. Foxy9 now striking in from behind, finds Jing. Munchkin gets another! Runs him down for 3. GenG convert the bonus.
Just incredible stuff here from GenG. This is just classic of the way that they want to call it, of the way that Munchkin likes to operate on any map. Doesn't matter where they are. Let the Sentinel player do some lurking. Find your moment to strike. They do a great job being patient in the early part of the round. They don't fall into the little trap that PRX is trying to set up in A main.
Let's go, guys! Let's go!
Ever the hype man.
Yeah, he's very fired up. He's been very, very hype. A bunch of Sheriffs and one Stinger there for Jing. Jing thinking about trying to push his corner. Texture just holding this, crouched right around there.
It's got Karen up over the top here. All 5 players from PRX on the stack. Foxy slow to scale forward towards A, so something tells me they're not going to identify that This is the open side of the map for a bit of time. Push now getting ready to come through. There's a lot of plays going to be spotted. Line up. Karan able to find the one kill. Does a decent amount of damage though. As Tavai and Padman both are tagged up, and Texture's got the read. Knows exactly what Forsaken's going to try to do. Gets him through the smoke. Stops him from grabbing that weapon. Jing's going to try to blast back across to get it, but the smoke now dissipates. Mr. 4K himself, does he make an appearance? He absolutely does.
Fantastic there. Great patience from GenG.